Hi there, this is Dr. Clarice Fluitt. I recently had the opportunity to be part of launching an organization called Seniors on the Front Lines. And in that organization, before you get nervous and thinking it is a place where all the elderly have assembled themselves at the dying fields. No, that's not what it's about. Have you ever gone into a bank and you'll see senior banking officer, or if you go into other offices where this is the senior vice president, this is the senior, you never think of it as an age discrimination. You think of it as having seniority. This is the one that is at the top of the list. Well, that's the organization that we had launched, and it was just an incredible eye-opening opportunity that we had to see that there are people that have thought erroneously, well, I've had my day and I've had my say, and I'm too old to do this or too old to do that. Well, I want to give you a word of encouragement. You know, I think so many times that there's a scripture where Jesus turned the water into wine. And people said, why did you save the best for last? I believe in our lives as we mature, and we mature graciously and gracefully, that there are things that we know, there's wisdom, there are gifts, talents, and abilities that are still right there waiting to get up and to write that book or to do the thing, all kinds of things that are still available to people. And so with that organization, with the launching of that, I began to see so many things that would take a shape in a person's life as soon as they change their mind about being a senior. It's not the time that you're thinking, well, you know, I'm just over the hill and I can't do anything. I'm going to share with you, I was 74 years old, and I was thinking, this is that time in my life, it's time to just retire and kick back, and I've had my day and had my say, and now I'm going to do things my way. And in the midst of that, I began to realize there are gifts and talents and abilities that are resident within me that I had never fulfilled what I knew that it was in me to do. And so I'm a woman of prayer, and as I was praying, I heard this thought just formed in my mind, and it was like, it's time to learn a new language. And I thought, oh my goodness, do I want to go do all of that? And of course, as I began to realize that the language that God had put in my heart that I was to learn was a marketplace language, because I had been a part of the church world for 40 years and thought that that's the way things were to go. But He moved me totally and completely out of my comfort zone, where things were familiar, where basically I had been in charge just about anywhere that I went, and put me in a situation where I had to learn all over again. You know, when you're a preacher, you can stand up and it takes you 20 minutes to tell people what your name is. But when you're in the marketplace and you're on a stage, I'm telling you, every minute definitely counts. And I said, now, how long do I have to tell my story? And they said, 12 minutes. And I thought, 12 minutes to get beginning to end. And I began to learn the value of being able to minimize that it did not have to be eternal to be immortal. And I had to learn to wait my turn. And I had to learn so many things that were so different. And in the midst of learning that, I found that there are some front lines that seniors are on, and where I began at the absolute bottom of the list as a motivational speaker, now I've found myself in a situation of incredible favor and having the marvelous opportunity not to be ashamed or embarrassed by my age, but to realize it is an incredible plus. So many times I'll tell the audience, I said, listen, I know I'm probably the oldest person here, so obviously I am very wise. And the fact that I'm still alive, you need to listen to me, because I am going to tell you about avenues of revenue. I'm going to talk to you about life and how you're going to be happy. And I get, there's no resistance. There's absolutely nobody. I'm certainly not competing with anybody. So those of you who that think that when you're 55, you're over the hill, I want you to know something. You are primed for something wonderful and something marvelous and something exciting. So change your mind about yourself. Maybe it's time for you to do some things. There's an invention inside of you. There are some marvelous things that you want to do. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe, your children are grown, or maybe you're widowed. Maybe they're just, life changes. And when it changes, you don't just rearrange, you begin to change. And as you embrace that change, you'll be amazed. You become an individual that there's purpose in your life. There'll be excitement in your life. I want to encourage you to be a part of that senior concept that says it is not a matter that I am going to a convalescence home. It means that I am changing the direction of my countenance, conduct, and conversation because I want to be a senior on the front lines. This is Dr. Clarice Fluitt encouraging you to live full and expect that when it's time for you to go home that you'll be empty. Until next time.